Welcome back to In the Field. It has been a handful of months since we did an episode, but for good reason. Kris and I have had a lot of stuff going on, right, man?
It's been busy, but in a good way.
Yeah, very, very good way. We thought it would be important to do a catch-up episode for people that just like following the company along, which apparently there are a few of those out there that tell us they listen to all of our podcasts and consume all of our content. So I've got a lot of stuff to go over, things to announce and chat about. It's been a whirlwind of a year. Now that we are into 2025 and kind of resetting for the next phase of Mobly, it's a good idea to recap what's gone on the past year.
Yeah, it's been a little wild, been bumpy, been fun, a lot of good, a lot of bad, and I'm excited to chat about it.
I'd say a little bad.
All right, fine.
No. Mostly good. Mostly good. No, we definitely had our pros and cons happen. So, Kris, what would you say the most amazing thing that has happened to Mobly over the past 12 months has been for you?
Yeah, for me, one, I would start with just the team that we have is phenomenal. And so we get to work every day with some amazing people. That's been a huge highlight for me. Coming into work every day, everybody works hard, and we're all in it together. But the other kind of big thing, I think I may have mentioned this on the first episode that we did, where when you brought the idea of Mobly to me, I was kind of like, I think this is there,
Yeah.
but I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I maybe people want to buy this. How big is the market? It can't be that big, right? Like those are the thoughts that went through my mind. And so this last year, I would say at least every month, if not more frequently, one or two prospects or customers, just people that we talk to, that I talk to, just reaffirmed that there is absolutely a big market here. The space is big. The opportunity is huge. The need that we're meeting is real. And so I get that boost of energy every time that happens to want to keep going forever. I mean, it's just a fun experience.
Some of the case studies that we published and will be publishing have been very eye-opening to both of us. Like going from 2 years ago when we first were pitching the company and hearing some investors say, isn't this just a simple point solution, to some of our early customers saying, you guys are like saving me hundreds of thousands of dollars a year and you're increasing my conversion rates from leads. And, oh yeah, by the way, we also don't have to spend money on data capture anymore. And look at all this manual work that you're saving us. And having that repeat itself again and again and again with customers renewing on multi-year agreements and upselling is just so freaking validating.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting because what we started with, I think initially was a little bit of a badge scanner. It was just, let's get into the market and replace badge scanners and make that process for the sales reps so much easier. But as we've evolved and started to grow the company, talk to more people, understand that they have more needs, our thinking has actually evolved quite a bit. And we've gone from, thinking about badge scanning alone and trying that, managing speed to lead, to really there's an entire event marketing ecosystem where we're driving a new category that doesn't actually exist today. And that's what's so exciting for me, especially in product, is we're meeting the need of, hey, we want to drive more revenue, but also the need where if you're investing in events, you're going to get significantly more out of it when you use Mobly for all of the functions within the event management platform.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really funny that you say, it was this tiny little market that we were looking at and didn't realize how big it was. I remember pitching an investor about 8-9 months ago at the Colorado Venture Summit, and seems like it went really well. He seemed pretty interested, and then I had a follow-up call with him, and he was just tearing our market apart. He's like, this is like a $200 million total addressable market. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you clearly don't have the same vision. You clearly haven't talked to our customers, because significantly bigger than that. And that leads me to the next big thing I wanted to chat about, which is we closed another round of funding.
Yes. Woo!
Yeah, it was a fast one, very different from the first time. First time took us about 6 months. Took us 3 months to get a couple of term sheets and another 3 months to close it out. and a lot of stress, a lot of sleepless nights, which we've spoken about. This one was very, very different. You want to talk about that, like why it was different?
Yeah, I mean, one, when you have traction, it makes a big difference. I think two, when you find the right investor, it goes fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Joe on our team, he always talks about how finding the right VC is a lot like dating, finding a spouse, right? Because when the right one clicks, it's just a lot easier and it works really well. And that's
Yeah.
exactly what I thought happened. And talking about that interview or that conversation you had with that VC from the Colorado Venture Summit, uh, the VCs that we talked to that ultimately we closed with would say that it's 100 times that size of market or more, as they did their research and really understood what this means and what's actually happening in the market, which is really enticing for us. I would say too that although this did go really fast, I think you did a really great job throughout the year of not only updating our existing investors, but just talking to more investors and being present. I think that's super important to understand, especially if you're out there raising money or thinking about raising money. The number of people that you have to talk to is in the hundreds, right? Maybe
Yeah.
more. I don't know. But it's definitely in the hundreds of people that you have to talk to, and you're going to repeat yourself 1,000 times, and it's going to feel hard and redundant, and you're going to get told no by a lot of different people, and potentially tell you like this one did that your market is terrible. I would never invest in that market. But ultimately find somebody that will actually invest.
Yeah. I used to think that you had to be a bit crazy to be a founder, and I still believe that to some extent. But you also just have to be a little bit smarter than other people, right? Like you have to see something that other people don't see. So I don't think we're crazy about our market size. I don't think we're crazy about the potential here. We're actually just smarter than the people that don't see it. And yeah, so going along those talk tracks, we closed around, oversubscribed and it was oversubscribed in 6 days. And we brought in two brand new investors from outside of the state. We brought in Jump Capital out of Chicago and ENIAC Ventures out of New York. Love both of them. We've had nothing but great experiences in the few months since we started working with both of them. And my favorite quote from ENIAC, who I didn't think we'd be able to get in because we had already decided that we were going with Jump, was Tim, the partner that was involved in the deal, said about Kristen, the principal that was involved in the deal, that her superpower is sizing markets more accurately than anybody else he's ever worked with, and that we were grossly undersizing our market. And he just went through the math and was basically selling us on how big of an opportunity this was before we had the opportunity to say the same thing back to him. And that was very validating because we see that, like we know we're just scratching the surface on the market potential, and our customers see that. They're coming to us and upselling and asking for different features and referring people over to us and so forth. So it's cool to see the right investors catching onto that as well. So we went to market in September. We were oversubscribed and closed by like the middle of October, which was again a drastically different experience from the first time that we raised. So that's been awesome.
Yeah, we're a lot more experienced now. I thought it
Yeah.
went really well, and the traction spoke for itself. I know we've definitely talked about highlights.
Yeah.
You've had highlights. I've had highlights. I think together we've had some amazing highlights. Our company has gone through some amazing things, and we're really excited about the future. 2025 is going to be a big year for us. And I think the big thing, just from the product side, focused on really helping our customers drive more revenue. It's really a revenue generating platform. But there are hard times, difficult
Yeah.
things. If we were to talk about lowlights, what would you say was a low light from this past year for you?
So there's two, and they're kind of interconnected. You know exactly what I'm going to talk about here. Number one, we being the inexperienced founders that we started off this past year being, we put our plan together. We were super optimistic. We saw all of the positive signals and ignored all of the negative signals, and we just assumed that everything would go right. So we spent and hired according to our optimistic plan for everything. And even though things went really, really well to the outside world, they only went about half as well as we were expecting of ourselves. but we still operated as if they were going, according to our
Mm-hmm.
full expectations. As a result, we burnt through money way quicker than we should have. And that triggered concern from our board. It triggered the second big thing that was hard for me was panic attacks, anxiety, depression, all of these other things. Like, I mean, the absolute lowest of lows I've ever been in my life was when I came to you and Joe and both and said, you guys might have to fire me. Like, I don't know if I can handle this anymore. From my mental state, I don't know if I will survive if I'm still in the CEO seat of the company. And that was a really hard thing to say. But, in my state of mind that I was in at that point, it was the right thing to say for the company. Thank goodness for medication. I got medicated and treated, and I have not had a panic attack in like 6 months now. It's freaking awesome. But it's hard. Like, anybody who is starting a company and thinking about starting a company, just know it is freaking difficult. Like, we've had some difficult moments where we didn't know if the company would survive. We didn't know if we would last. We didn't know if we were just absolutely, in over our heads with decision making and so forth. So you need to be a special kind of resilient and just be prepared for all of the lows that come with all of the highs. Like, the highs are amazing, and I wouldn't trade them for the world, but they do come with some hard times that I wasn't fully prepared for. Thank goodness we got through them, and I'm sure more hard times will come, but I know how to handle them and deal with them.
Yeah, it was pretty chaotic at different times, right? And just knowing how to navigate the chaos can be really difficult. And
Yeah.
I would say that just as a leadership team, as a company, right, being transparent and talking through everything, knowing that we have each other's backs, that we're supportive of each other, that as long as we continue forward and focus on our customers and helping them, it seems like we're able to find ways to find those good times,
Yeah.
And to have the highs. And so, yeah, I'm glad for obviously for you that it went well, but also for us as a company, like, it was definitely a hard time, but we made it through. And what's cool about it is, like you said, it was like the fact that we raised as quickly as we did, huge testament to being able to get through hard times.
Yeah.
And when that comes again, right, which you mentioned, it probably will. I think I agree with you. It probably will. It'll feel a lot different this time.
Yep. We're prepared for it.
We're prepared.
One other mega highlight that you and I didn't talk about in our prep at all is in July, we moved into our own office. We were just outgrowing the space at Kiln. We love Kiln, Arian and Weston.
Gave us our start.
They're freaking amazing. We love them. We felt it was time to move into our own space so that we could host our own events and just make it our own. So we moved into our own space here in Lehigh, just a few buildings away, in July. And kind of in tandem with that, we decided to host our own event called Event Marketing University, where we brought together thought leaders, customers, non-customers, whatever, just a whole bunch of people to teach best practices around event marketing, thinking that, we had 100 people sign up, and we would probably have 50 of them show up. We ended up with 124, I believe, attendees. So more than signed up. Just such a resounding success. Was very validating to me. I felt very good about just the state of the market and our place in it with having such support from the community and helping us Christian in our new office. It was a mega highlight for me. That was probably the second best moment of the year, besides closing the round and breathing that sigh of validating relief for me. I don't know. What were your thoughts on Event Marketing University and moving into our space?
Well, we decided after we did it that we have to take it on the road, and so we're doing Event Marketing University again over Utah Tech Week, and we're going to be taking it to other cities, and so probably out in Chicago, out in Scottsdale, San Francisco, some of the New York and others, where we're starting to build these communities where we have customers that are congregating, right? And they often, what's funny is event marketers don't have events for event marketers. And so we're kind of creating that, which is really fun. So that was I think that moving into our own space was for sure the right decision. It's been a really good space. We have partners that have been referring business for us. We have obviously our customer base that are referring people, and that's the other thing that just gets me so excited about Mobly is like we don't even have to be the ones selling it anymore like we used to as just you and I.
Yeah.
It's now happening. Our customers are selling it for us.
Yep. Awesome. Well, I am nothing but thrilled for the future. Super proud of where we've come from and where we are right now over the past year. I look forward to doing another update in a few months. But in the meantime, if you're listening to this episode, go to getmobly.com and look at our events page. We have a lot of stuff going on. Right now, we're in the middle of January, and it might be past that by the time this episode comes out. But we're all over Slope Summit, Utah Tech Week, and then we have B2BMX in Scottsdale in February, and like 4 events that are just like back to back in April. So if you're a marketer, if you're in a go-to-market function and going to events or looking for events to go to, hit us up, go to that webpage, and find where you can engage with Mobly. We're happy to chat and support you. One last thing to add. So it's been a few months since we've recorded any episodes of In the Field because, again, we were heads down closing out the year and closing out millions of dollars of funding and all that fun stuff. We have a ton of guests lined up, and you should expect to see a lot of content coming out with our podcast and webinar series more consistently, multiple times a month for the foreseeable future. So
please subscribe.
Listen in.
Okay.